Hello and welcome to Power to the People with me, Graeme Pryce. Do you know what I think is a very strange aspect of the twisted and tumultuous timeline we find ourselves in? It's the fact that many of the people that seem to command the respective regressive wrongins are so blatantly, obviously ridiculous people. Imagine if your dad said he got most of his info from people like Andrew Tate or random London taxi drivers. Imagine if your uncle was well known for shagging sofas, or flags for that matter. And look at the fucking state of MP for Dubai, Richard Tice, lately. There's one man that commands the respect of 77 million misinformed minds, though, and his vile visage has become legendary for its Cheeto-toned twattery. It's the Mango Mussolini, the Pumpkin Spice Starling, the Tangerine Toddler who seems determined to turn the world into a right-wing wankfest that Hitler himself would have gooned over. But why is Donald Trump a day-glow don of dreadful deceit? Why is his face the colour of a bottle of Tango? Let's find out what the orange orator of bullshit is up to when he gets up in the morning and decides to be a tangerine titan of twattery. Right after this. I was just looking at my channel analytics and I noticed that 53% of people who watch my videos weren't subscribed. The pain. Come on. Just have a quick check that you've subbed, liked and rang the bell. Make a skinny old scouser a little bit happier today. There are those of us who understand how the media works and may have noticed that sometimes the fondling father himself looks a lot more orange in some pictures than he does in others. We certainly can't pretend that left-wing channels like Midas Touch or Adam Mockler don't boost the colour in their thumbnails in order to mock the Cheeto Benito. I approve of any methods to mock Donald Trump. Obviously, I think the best way to defeat these people is to make them figures of ridicule. But there are people who have been unfortunate enough to spend time in close contact with Trumple Thinskin, who have confirmed that even in natural sunlight and up close, he still tries to display the radiant tone of a Spanish orangery. So what's going on there then? Is it just narcissism and a desire to be different? Well, this is a man that finds it completely impossible to be critical of himself and thinks that anybody else who is critical of him is not just wrong but should be crushed. Just ask Jimmy Kimmel about that. But is there a real reason he embarrasses himself every single time he steps in front of a camera looking like a tangerine-faced clown? Well, it seems that tangerine tone isn't simply a result of radical leftists trying to smear him. He's already smeared himself with copious amounts of orange product, after all. And he can't deny that something is going on with his fucking face, can he? There are some commentators that have some sycophantic sympathy for the incontinental divider, and they say that it's notable that he appears more orange towards the end of his presidential campaigns. It's all about his confidence. Should we have some sympathy for the Dayglow Don? Is he just an immature and arrogant toddler-like man? Well, yeah, obviously. And he's just using makeup to try and boost his ego and hide his age. But remember, this is a man who has an ego bigger than the moon. And we're all well aware of his age. Bill Clinton, who was president almost a quarter of a century ago, is actually a little bit younger than Diaper Donny. And Bill Clinton's face isn't the colour of a cheap cigarette filter, is it? Chris Blevins, a makeup artist that has worked for many presidents, beginning with Jimmy Carter, who also didn't have a face the colour of a traffic cone. has claimed that while the apricot arsehole is clearly smothered in makeup at every public appearance, even without it, his face is actually a much different tone than the rest of his disgusting, festering pile of rancid McDonald's leftovers that he calls his body. This has led to lying bastards in the Republican Party claiming that living in the Florida sun for so long has actually damaged his skin. They suggest his makeup is so thick and fucking ludicrous because it's actually working as some sort of sunscreen to protect Humpty Trumpty from skin cancer. Well, there for the grace of God go any of us, and God certainly needs to step in and have a look at Cheeto Satan, but those claims mostly come from sycophantic wasters and dishonest wankers who would say anything to protect their delicate dictator. So we should probably ignore those people. Believe it or not, there has also been some bad meths in Trump's administration that have the cheek to suggest that Trump's colour is down to good genes. That in itself suggests that these fascist fuckwits think that the perfect visage of a man should be the colour of an autumn sunset or a mango and papaya smoothie. I think we can dismiss their bullshit because none of them are running around with a face the colour of my fingers after a jumbo bag of what's-its, are they? Good genes. I actually did quite a bit of reading on this subject, and I think there's only really one conclusion we can draw here. Trump has a bright orange face because he's a narcissistic, egomaniacal wanker who probably threatens, sues or launches political or personal attacks on everybody who dares to criticise him or the colour of his saggy fucking face. In much the same way that Putin has killed nearly 1 million of his own people by surrounding himself with yes men, or Kim Jong-un thinks that haircut makes him look powerful. Trump looks like that because he deliberately surrounds himself with people who are too frightened of telling him he looks like a clown who is in makeup design for a Tango advertising campaign. The man has a bright orange face because he's a fucking idiot. That's it. There's no special reason. He's just a fucking idiot. Make sure you remember that next time you see him shouting bullshit on the television with little white eyes and a big orange face. What a twat. Thank you for watching if you've gotten this far. From Rachel Reeves's relentlessly irrelevant conference brain fart, Starmer's slightly more spirited but still stilted speech, and the appalling attack in Manchester, it hasn't exactly been a quiet week, has it? I just wanted to have a bit of a giggle with you though, and if you have had a giggle at the orange shitler with me, make sure you hit the like and subscribe because it does help loads. If you can think of any more amusing idioms for the puce-faced fuckwit over the pond, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I might be able to use them next time we gather to mock his blatant bell-endishness. The battle against bullshit is never over, not while Nigel Froggage is doing a Trump tribute act in the full light of the adoring UK media, and people with swastika tattoos cover them with capes made from Union Jacks and claim to be patriots. And if you'd like to contribute to my efforts, then you'll find the links to PayPal, Patreon and the Buy Me a Coffee page in the description box with normal coloured faces. And the join button for memberships is, as always, below. Now that definitely isn't all I have to say. But it is as much as I'm going to say for the next few days because I'm going to be taking a little break. But I'll be back right before you know it. Ta-ra-la. mention the Epstein files, Annie.